Bobby's going to be joining us. Got so much going on. It's just ridiculous. So I don't know what kind of screens I'm going to share, where we're going to head with this, but I figure we check in on at least our football exposure, and then maybe get an early look at some of the NBA. I mean, I got so much other stuff happening right now. There's multiple LOL slates. There's golf. There's an outright bet in golf. There's DFS bets in golf that I'm going to have some struggles with. What else? NBA later, hockey later, MMA coming up later, going out to dinner later. All kinds of stuff going on in Sheets World. Not to mention horse racing today. I just ran out of time. I was going to put some stuff on with horse racing, but it just didn't get there. I'm just waiting on Bobby to kind of check in here, and then we'll just kind of go over what we have. I guess he and I'll just kind of wrap through this. And again, I'm just being selfish. I just want to kind of learn from what he's going. All right, so I got Zalatoris is minus 13 now, -1 on the day, and he's now on the island. He's now on the island hole. So I'm gonna have to stress that. This is hole 6. This is not what I want. I want to go back to okay, so we want this the main feed. Do we want the main feed? Yeah, let's get the main feed. Marquee group. I don't know which one to look for. That's the 16th. And they should show the island hole. Actually, it's not necessarily the island hole. It's just one of the tough holes. Well, I may as well share my screen. Let me just see what. May as well. I mean, so we got. I don't know what they're going to even let me show, but FanDuel, ExpressBet, this. Got my DraftKings. I have to remember to. Oh, there he is. Yeah, so I mean, welcome to DGen Saturday here at Sheets World. I don't know if anybody's going to come, but I figured I want to talk through what.
I'm here, by the way. I logged in at the same time you did. That's the weirdest thing. I didn't even send you the link yet.
Oh, I said I would send you the link.
Oh no, you said. Oh, I think you said, would you send a link? Oh, you said, will you send a link? So I was just getting ready to send a link.
Oh, I meant to say we'll send you a link. That's what I said. I said we'll send you a link.
Oh yeah, you did. Wow, sorry, I totally misread that.
Nah, that's cool.
Same word.
I couldn't use your help because you know what I did was that I anyway max enter, but I enter like a bunch of lineups, and I didn't really settle on like anything big yet. So I wanted to kind of figure out what I wanted to do. What I wanted to do about actually taking a stand on something, because I played like every slate, like 25 lineups. I played the 2-gamer today. I played the 4-gamer. I played both showdowns, but without any real, any lack of conviction, any source of conviction. Right. So I figured I would just run through it. I also ran some NBA projections we could talk about. Like there's no Giannis today, so that'll make it interesting. And maybe we'll just wrap through it. If anybody wants to come up and whatever, that's fine. LOL going on. The golf is going on. I don't know where it's going to end up with the cut line. It's not looking too strong. I don't think for me. Closest thing I have is I still have a little sweat with Zalatoris for the win. At 45 to 1.
What a day yesterday he had.
He sure did.
That was funny.
And I just got shut out of betting. I was going to be a live bet on Rom at 20 to 1, and and it went down to 12 before I could click enter.
Oh no, that would have been.
Dude, I'm telling you, when sports betting hits there, and you get a real taste of like all the. I was, remember we laughed at Alec and Jack when he said that here the 80% of betting is live. I think that's low. I mean, like it's ridiculous. Like,
yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It's multiple. It's like what it reminds you of. Like remember, like in poker, when you used to play poker, you'd have to get in before registration, whatever
Right.
it is. And then
Mhm.
slowly but surely it became like you could like come in for 5 minutes late. Now like all the sites they let you register like 5 hours afterwards. Basically, like whenever you want to play, like you can play. And
Mhm.
and if that's what it is, like sports betting, you don't care when the games start. If you miss it by 40 minutes, okay, I'll bet it now. Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all the different variations on the alt lines and stuff like that. It's freaking nuts.
Yep.
We gotta really before look. We didn't get settled in time for New York, but by the time California comes, I want
Yep.
I want to be ready. I want affiliate code so that if people sign up through us, you know what I mean.
Yep.
And I want to be ready. So I want Kenny on. I've got to get more views, right, so that we
Right.
can ask for affiliate codes.
No,
So
absolutely, absolutely. Well, we're back to focusing more on the site, especially this next week. Kenny's finally back, and we can get some work done. So I'm
yeah.
ready. Um, let's get it, Rody. Good to see you in here.
Oh,
So
he's
we're
here.
yeah, he just popped into chat. So
Oh,
thank
sweet.
you. Yeah, we'll get a few guys in here.
I was in the chat, not in the not in the stream. Okay. I was gonna
No,
say.
in the chat. But yeah, man. So it's a pretty interesting slate. I feel like this is like it's great football, obviously. Oh, by the way, on the golf, I still do have a sweat where I've got everybody 7 under or better, but
Ooh.
Desire double bogey went down to -8 for my contenders. I don't understand this guy. He like doesn't bogey for 2 days every time, and then he just starts going crazy on Saturdays and double bogey and everything.
What's going to be the cut, you think?
-7 is almost a lock, I think.
7, I can get there with 7. I think.
Yeah, everybody's going backwards today because the wind.
I think I could. It came out stage. I could get there with 7, and I'm looking at my monster on FanDuel. I got like a bunch of guys just like right teetering on the edge of it. They're actually all -7 now or better.
That's good.
Which is good. I got Pat Perez sneaking in there -7. I got Nick Hardy hanging in there at -7.
Yep.
Rye -9. And then I have Rom Scheffler and Cantlay.
Yep.
So we'll see.
Wow,
We'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Scheffler just made a big eagle for you.
Oh, that's nice.
So I got it at 80% -7, 10% -8, and 10% -6.
Okay.
So 6 could even happen depending on if it continues trending the way that it's going right now. But yeah, so with regard to the NFL slate, it is just get your correlations in order. I think that some of these games, I'm not gonna say they're dud, but they might dud fantasy wise. And I think people are very much off of the San Francisco Green Bay game, so I'm starting to get a little bit more on that one. And I think I am personally most off of Brady and the passing game for Tampa Bay. And the running, and even the running game to some extent, although I do like Fournette a little bit. Anyway, so I'm gonna be heavy on the nothing surprising here, but I'm gonna be heavy on the guys who are my favorite plays, which are I'm gonna be well ahead on Burrow. I'll probably have 25% Burrow. I think I'll have 25% Allen, and I think
now we're talking about the 4 game, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm not going to have any Tannehill. If it bites me, it does. I do have about, so I have those guys, and then I've got about 20% Stafford and 5% Rodgers on DraftKings. On FanDuel, I have a little more Rodgers.
All right, so let me catch up to you then. So I'm with you with respect to Brady. I have 8% Brady. I have 28% Josh Allen, 20% Mahomes, and I don't have a lot of Rodgers.
Yeah, I don't either. He's not going to be popular, and I don't particularly. I have 5% of them. I do think Stafford.
Oh yeah, see, this is where we're different. So I don't have a lot of Burrow. I have and I got a boatload of Tannehill. That's where
Oh, interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
You're way off the. You're going to be off the board already with that.
Well, I mean, you're going to have people playing AJ Brown, no?
Yeah, but people aren't going to play Tannehill.
Oh. Well, I'm an idiot like that.
No, but I know. I think you way overrate it, to be honest with you, especially on PPR sites. It really doesn't matter. Like you could have two San Francisco receivers go nuts, and it doesn't mean Garoppolo does anything because one of them is going to be running the ball with Samuel, and Kittle could catch 10 passes. So, like, you don't really need. I don't think you need to play the quarterbacks.
I'll tell you where I'm underweight, and that's that you just hit the nail right on the head is with the San Francisco's.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like I am underweight on Debo because I like the other receivers just a little bit better, unfortunately. But I'll be overweight on Ayuk, not by much, but by a little bit. And I will play some Juwan Jennings. I'll play more than 10 to 15% of them. And I like him in showdown lineups as well. I think that he's got some upside here, and they've been looking at him big on third downs and on those touchdown routes. And he had a couple of weeks ago in that must-win game against the Rams, and they've looked for him on big down. So he's a spend down that's way off the board. To answer the question in chat, there's a few guys who I like that are way off the board. I like Jennings, maybe not way off the board. The other guys, I will be well overweight on Julio, well underweight on AJ Brown. I'll be overweight on all the Bengals receivers, and Tyler Boyd I currently have 35%. He's predicted to be 10%. I'm probably going to end up slightly underweight on both Kupp and Adams, just because the pricing is hard, and I'm going to be way overweight on Derrick Henry.
On who?
Derrick Henry.
What about Fournette?
I currently am planning to play a good amount of Fournette, but I would like to wait and see what happens tomorrow. So we'll figure that one out. I mean, he's still questionable officially, although I think he plays. And I think Gio is an interesting pivot. I think that Cam Akers, people are going to play a little bit. I hate taking running backs against Tampa Bay, but the Rams really like Akers. And exactly what I said happened last week. You started the game off with a 35-yard Michelle run, and I said, look, this is going to be the Cam Akers game. It's not going to be Michelle. And I mean, it's not like he had a monster game, but he had 17 carries. And he actually looked really good and healthy considering he fucking tore his ACL, 6 months ago. Singletary is going to be popular, and I keep finding myself there, but it's because that's the game I'm stacking the most. At least that's my early stack plans, and it makes sense with my Mahomes run backs to have him, to have Singletary. So unfortunately, I'm eating a little bit of that chalk, but I am going to be playing. I'm going to force in a little bit of Sanders and McKenzie, like 5% of each, not much.
McKenzie, okay, got it.
Yeah, but 5% Sanders and McKenzie, and I will be at 20% on Gabriel Davis. I will be probably about 10 to 15 on Beasley, sort of with the field, and I'll probably be a little bit overweight on Diggs, which is what I'm allowing myself to do by fading the Samuel and the other high-end receivers. And I'll be way overweight on Tyreek Hill. I'll be overweight on Pringle. I'll be overweight on Hardman. I'll be overweight on Kelsey. That's sort of why I'm leaving out. And it sucks because I really like this matchup for Cooper Kupp and for Devontae Adams, but I'm going to avoid it. The other Green Bay receiver that I'm choosing to use instead is going to be mostly Allen Lazard, and I don't mind anyone who wants to run in Randall Cobb out there. I think that's a very reasonable play at 3,100. So that's sort of a general thing I'm doing. I'm trying to get a Bengal in almost all my lineups.
I'm getting like 15% Randall Cobb actually.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. I think that's actually going to be. I think people will do that as well.
Okay.
But I think that's fine. Like, I mean, it's we're looking for cheap receivers, but the pivot off of them would be a guy like, in San Francisco with Juwan Jennings. I think that is a viable alternative.
I got some of that, and I got I still like the Deguara.
Yeah, that's one I didn't get too much of, and I probably should. I ended up going a little more Ferkser and even a little bit of Swaim.
I got just a ton of Swaim in the Saturday slate.
Yeah, on the Saturday slate ones. But I think I would like to get a little Deguara.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, I mean, and more importantly, he's got a guy who's going to make him look good too. So.
Well, he's good in the fact that yeah, exactly. That Rodgers will go to him in good spots. I mean, like.
Right, exactly. No, I'm with you there. I'm completely with you.
I'll tell you, I got too much of. I think. Well, maybe not. I mean, I'm very confident with that. I really like Diggs here.
I do too.
Yeah.
And I would encourage people to sort of hold off on some of the final decision making for the slate, because you're going to want to see how you do. This is what you can do, right? It's one of the advantages of all the games at different times is you can adjust based on how your lineups are doing. Unfortunately, I've made the occasional adjustment, and like I told you on the Thanksgiving Day slate that I could have won the 200K. My problem there was that.
but that's okay. I mean,
No. Right. My problem there was though that I was trying to optimize my lineup with the best, more chalky play, sort of forgetting what I wanted to play.
oh,
And
yeah, yeah,
that's something that I just would encourage people to be aware of in general, because it's really important when you're putting yourself in a good position, but you don't want to just like let it all slide, because just because your guys start off well doesn't mean you have to go with the chalk the rest of the way. I guess that's what I'm
No, I
saying.
mean, if you wanted to move to chalk, you'd have to have a really good reason. I mean, like you'd have to be like almost in first, like,
Yeah.
I mean, you can't say, oh boy, I'm in 23rd place only, you know what I mean? Like, oh, so I got to now be conservative. Like,
Well, that was what happened though. I had the nuts
yeah.
through game one, and like
Oh,
literally just the only three players that I thought were going to be relevant, and I had all three of them, and two of them were sub 10%. So I decided to get rid of Knox and play. I can't remember who the more chalky tight end was, and of course Knox had 2 touchdowns and 20 something fantasy points, and the lineup ended up 20 something in the million, but it would have won me the 233, which I had it in. So I did leave it in something, but that's the other thing I'm going to do. I'm going to leave like 4 lineups to 6 lineups on my big buy-ins with the same lineup after, and then just adjust game by game.
anything funny? Got any funny business anywhere or no?
I just went, yeah. I mean, those are the plays I went through. Like I'm looking at my ownerships right now, and they're obviously going to change. I've got 50% Henry. Maybe I'm going to be even a little higher in my bigger buy-ins. I'm a little higher on than that. I've got 40% Fournette right now, 40% Mitchell right now, 50% Singletary right now. The guy who I'm not getting as much of and is Mixon. I do have 20% of him, but he's not in as many of my big buy-ins. I squeezed in a little bit of Akers. I squeezed in a little bit of AJ Dillon on FanDuel in the 2-day slate and the 1-game slate. I'm not getting to Aaron Jones either, and it scares me a little bit, but mostly I'm just going to play the way that I think is the right way, and that's you're going to beat San Francisco through the air, and you're going to beat Green Bay more on the ground, or at least that's what the game plan is going to be today. What worries me, that's why I'm worried about not having Rodgers a little bit, but at the same time, I can take 2 Green Bay. I can play DeGuara and Lazard, for example, with a Josh Allen stack because Josh Allen's rushing upside. You know what I mean? So that's the way I would choose to use my Green Bay receiver exposure. But I've got Tyler Boyd currently in 2 of my big lineups, and Jamar Chase, like 30% Chase, 30% Boyd, 40% Higgins, 20% Lazard, 15%, actually 14% Cobb, so we're basically in the same. I have 22% Dawson Knox. And I think that's going to be, let me just see where he's projected right now. You got Knox projected again at 8% ownership. And I'd love to be well over on that. So I'm going to be, because we've seen this happen like time and time again with him. He just never gets owned, and he's got the same, like, not the same ceiling, but he put up 26 last week. He had that Thanksgiving Day game. He had the big 18 game. He had two other 20 fantasy point games earlier this year. There's no reason, and you can't use him, and you can play him with one of the other tight ends too. You can play him with Higbee. You can play him with my favorite combination is he and Kelsey, because it gives me swappability on Sunday where I can go some Hill and some Kelsey. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got a pile of Fournette. So, and I don't expect to have it. I expect to be doing some zigging and switching. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But right now, that's what I have. And I have other running backs. I do have a decent amount of Mixon. I have 35% of him. And I have 28% Mitchell, which is healthy.
Yep.
Right now, I have too much AJ Dillon. I might trim that back.
How much McKinnon do you have? I know that's going to change.
Like nothing.
Okay.
I mean, like very little. I mean,
I would encourage you to get a little bit of exposure if you're playing as many lineups as you are, but that's, it's your call completely, obviously. It's just, that's what I'm going to do anyway. I like the Rams defense, by the way. I like the Packers defense. It's weird because I like the Niners to win. I don't actually like that. I want to change that. I like the Rams defense, and then I like the Titans to potentially make their defense can make a play. I do like the Bengals a little bit, hoping that you get Tannehill, like maybe in a throwing situation, because I do think Cincinnati has a great chance to win this game. The defense I'm not using much of are the Niners. I'm not using much of the Bills, and I'm not using much of the Chiefs.
I really don't think that. I mean, with KC, McKinnon, or I don't. maybe this is just dumb to say. I don't see the running game being anything Kansas City is going to be interested in this game. I don't think you run on Buffalo in the first place. And
people have been running all over them lately.
I just have a feeling that they're not getting here to play a home game against Buffalo and then give the ball to the running back. I just think it's going to be the Mahomes show. I think it's going to just try to sling it all over the field, and that'll be the end of it.
It could be like last week where it's both of them. Mahomes puts up 40 and McKinnon puts up 26.
That's true.
McKinnon did have 6 catches and 1 receiving touchdown last week too. So
yeah, I know.
That's the other thing about that one. But I
could always change to it. I mean, that's the last game of the year.
Yeah, of course. No, I'm just throwing out my 2 cents. And
like I said, I got my zillion percent Fournette. I could always go switch to McKinnon and beef up at one of the receivers, and I could always do something tomorrow.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah. Higbee, I have a lot of, and I'm fine with it. I would probably like to have a little bit less, I guess, than what I have.
You got the well, I mean, you don't have too much Brady, but do you have any Gronk? I got like 25% Gronk.
I do have Gronk at like 15% right now. No, 20%. So similar.
You got a lot of good tight ends this week.
Yeah, absolutely.
Only 8 teams. I mean, you got 8 tight ends, but it's like 6 of them are viable. That's like crazy.
Maybe the GMs would learn something here that, hey, there's something to having a good tight end, or maybe it's a somewhat a product of the quarterback too. But these are all really good tight ends. It seems to happen every year that you've got pretty good tight end slates in the postseason, and also I feel like tight ends. Look, I don't have anything to back this up right here. But I think I really like, and partly I'm biased because I won the playoff thing a couple times for like 50K.
Oh, did you?
I was double tight ending. It was like back when Manning was playing for Denver. You know what I mean?
Right.
I would double tight end with the cheapos, or I would play pay up and play down. But I just feel like they get more usage in these situations because it's more conservative play calling near the goal line where they're going to go to the safer routes rather than necessarily throwing the fake. I don't know. It just feels that way to me. At least I don't have any evidence to back it up, but I always feel like tight ends have bigger postseasons than the regular guys.
And I have the requisite 15% Zoma as usual.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
I actually think he's the best one to get to of the cheapies other than Higbee.
Better than Swain. I mean, like.
But in my 3 big buy-ins on draft, my 3 biggest buy-ins, I have Higbee in 1, Kelce in 1. I oddly have Tyreek Hill in all of my lineups right now, but all of my big buy-in lineups on DraftKings. Wait, let me get everything straight. Yeah. But I will probably switch some of that up. I can switch to Kelce. I can switch a bunch of things up based on, how the games go, basically.
Yeah.
I really like Tyreek Hill. And I think that I'm just going to look at his ownership real quick. Like Tyreek Hill is 22%-ish, and you've got Diggs at 25. I'd rather stay in that range. Like as good as Adams and Kupp are, I don't think that their ceiling is a whole lot different than these guys. And
so at 22%, that's his ownership. I'm well over the field. I have 23% of him. So
I have 65%.
Oh, there it is.
I'm probably going to have to change some of that because that's just.
I'll trade you some of my AJ Brown for some of your Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, that makes fair enough. I understand the Brown thing. I would rather play Hill and Diggs, but I don't think it's like by any sort of a landslide or anything. That's just what I'm doing.
I'll tell you this: I think AJ Brown correlates really nicely with your Bengals guys.
Well, yeah, but I'm going with the Derrick Henry show, and I'm going to play Julio Jones at the cheap price.
Well, that's what I'm. Yeah, my point is that if it's not the Derrick Henry show, you know what I mean?
Right. Then I'm in trouble.
Well, then you could play all, and then the variation where Tennessee can't stop anybody, which is very possible. As we talked about, I mean, their defense has been spotty to Davis Mills among others. And if Cincy comes out freaking 14-0, the Derrick Henry show might not be such a big thing.
I agree. Yeah.
Could be the Jeff Swain, AJ Brown show.
You know what? You talked me into one, okay? And I wasn't going to do it, but I'm going to do it now. I'm going to get get AJ Brown into one of my big buy-ins because I don't need to have 100% of Hill as much as but I do really like him though, so I feel a little hesitant to give it up. Where do you stand with Eli Mitchell?
Yeah, I got healthy, man. I have 28%.
Okay.
Hey, you know what? You talk about win condition. That's what they want. They want to cram the ball, whether it be Mitchell or the Debo and Ayuk reverses, whatever. Now it ain't easy, but that's their win condition. They get down to the freak. They really don't want to trust Garoppolo if they don't have to.
Right.
And they, I've seen the San Francisco team. I mean, when they get it going, you know what I mean, and they get that running downhill, they finish off their runs, and their offensive linemen get it going. It puts a lot of hurt on these defenses, even the good ones.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I like it. I like it.
Where do you stand with guys like Pringle and those guys?
Yeah, sure. I mean, they're everywhere. They're literally everywhere.
Yeah,
you gotta look. It's the playoffs, and it's Mahomes is gonna be facing pressure. He's gonna be facing a really good defense. He's gonna go whoever he can get it to. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's not gonna be like, where's Tyreek? If Pringle's open, he's getting the ball. If Hardman's open or whatever, Hardman's open, he's getting the ball. I like all Kelsey, whoever. I like all these guys. I got this one lineup that seems kind of crazy. I got Mahomes with 3 receivers not named Hill in the lineup.
Wow.
It's a Mahomes, Pringle, Kelsey, Hardman.
Yeah, I've actually got something similar to that. So I get it. I even threw I can always switch and everything, but I even threw Robinson into a couple lineups just because that's the thing, guy gets two 4 receiver sets or whatever, and he gets 2 touchdowns or something like that. That's on the table, and I want to at 0.5% owned. That could end up winning you this all the money.
I'm pretty sure that what's going to end up winning you the money is what you do between Saturday and Sunday morning.
Yeah, I think you're right. Unless Burrow does the Burrow thing.
Right, and he's very capable of doing that.
Yeah, and that's
why they call it the Burrow thing.
Yeah, that's right. But I'm just seeing real quick what I've got here because I want to make sure I don't leave Julio out completely because I actually do think that it's a pretty strong play. I have a ton of.
I agree with that. I think he could have a good game.
Yeah. And I like Gabriel Davis as my other guy in that price range. Gabriel Davis, Julio, and Lazard are my favorites in that 4 to 5K range. But I'm mixing and matching a little bit in all honesty. I really like the Rams tomorrow, by the way. I really, really, really feel like I really like them. I wish the game was here in LA, but I really, really think they're going to win that game.
I think it's going to be
good about it.
I think it's going to be a low-scoring game.
Oh, really?
I do, and I like the Rams in a low-scoring game.
Yeah.
I have all this Fournette, and I mean, I'm really playing a running back against the Rams. I mean, honestly, but he'll get if he's playing, he's healthy. He'll get a lot of targets out of the backfield.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
But I like the Rams in that game too.
Yeah.
And I think I like the I'm going to be rooting against them. Okay, because I do not like rooting for the Packers. I'm going to be rooting for the Niners, but I got this I got this bad feel. I got a bad feeling about that game for the Niners. I don't know. It just feels like the Packers are always toying with these teams like during the whole season. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible. I think the Niners win.
I hope so.
And I hate
them. Oh, that's right. That's what you're gonna like. You forget.
No, so I
just like the coach. I like the whole thing. I like them.
I'm already planning my tickets for my Rams and the Niners for the following week.
Where would that game be? Oh, that's it. That would be in LA, right?
Yeah. So that would be fun.
Or it could be Rams at Green Bay, right?
Could be the Rams.
Book those tickets.
The Rams. Yeah, well, those would be in Green Bay, unfortunately.
That's what I'm saying. Book those tickets.
Yeah, I don't want to go to Green Bay right now.
You want to come back with COVID from Green Bay?
Don't want to just volunteer to get COVID.
Exactly. You
I
are
don't mind
demanding it.
totally get it, but
You'd
not
be
gonna volunteer.
demanding it.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. I have more AJ Brown than I wanted just from entering him, adding him to 2 big lineups. So I'm going to lessen that exposure. I just like the other guys too much better. All right, Matt Staff.
Yeah, I think I'm not going to play anything big. I think I'm going to stick with my MME and see what happens.
How much are you getting to any Odell Beckham? I really feel like this.
I am getting some Odell Beckham.
All right, I like it. How about Van Jefferson?
Let me just see both those guys. I remember seeing both those names. Well, not much Beckham. I got 8%. And then I saw a Van Jefferson lineup. Let me see how many that actually is. 10%.
That's pretty good. It's more than I was able to get so far, but I reserve the right because I'm playing Grayson and Tyler Johnson, and I'll have the ability to switch over to Van Jefferson should I want to. So that's what
Those are going to be that KC. That's going to be a fun showdown slate tomorrow night.
Whew. Not kidding.
I hope I'm live. I hope I'm live for something I don't have to play.
Yeah. I hear you. Let's see if we're doing any better in the golf here for a second. I really, it makes me so nervous. You get a guy like 99% to make the cut, and then the first hole he starts toying with you. It drives me nuts.
Yeah, I know.
But maybe he can get some back here. Yeah, he got one back, but then Answer's down at 6 under. Come on, Answer, get it together, man. He just can't make a putt.
Dude, look at who's fucking gonna make it. Excuse my French. Patrick Reed's -6. Let's go.
Corey Connors came back too.
And Woodland is he's -4. He needs like 3 strokes in the back 9. He could do it.
Oh yeah, he can do it. Sure, why not? I've got some really good ones, but they all have the non-cut, which I think that having like a 5 of 6, this would be the week you could get away with at least cashing deep with some of them, but because you only get one more day of golf afterwards. But still, it just doesn't feel great. I've got a Power Zalatoris, Kim Kazire Moore all at 9 under, and then hopefully Power Zalatoris could end up 1-2. That could be a good one. But we'll see. Still a lot of golf left to play.
What is your? Hold on a minute. Yeah, this one I should be good.
-6 is now up to 15%, by the way.
Ooh, okay, that's something.
Starting to go in that direction.
Okay, how about this? What is well, this is stupid. It's about to say what's the most amount of fantasy points you have in any golf line, but it's stupid because it depends on how many guys you have left.
Yeah, the ones I'm actually doing well and I have the most time left in, actually. So
okay.
I guess it's a good sign, but today, with the way the wind is today, I'm not sure how good of a sign that is. And if the wind keeps up tomorrow, the 5 of 6s are you're still going to have shots to go deep, like not win tournament. You're going to have shots to go deep with 5 of 6s because of you're not going to gain that. Like most players aren't going to gain a ton on this course if it stays with the weather like. Yeah, my highest is is 387 right now with a lot of time left. How about you?
Yeah, I got a 380. I guess the best be 382 with 173.
Yeah, and I'm 387 with 169, so pretty similar.
Okay, same shit.
Yeah, but
I guess I would have to say that my favorite is, so I have in the 382 with one. I have a 382 with 173, but that's in 21st place in the single entry.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that one. If I can get that through.
Yeah.
And that one, the guy that's on the cusp, everybody else seems pretty safe, but I got Smalley at -7. He's at -7 right now.
Okay.
Only through 6 holes. Through 6 holes.
We got Zach asking us a question. How much Singletary are you getting to? I feel like not doing it with him at 100% ownership. You're like 100%. Yeah, look, you can always switch off Singletary too. Like, remember, that's the last game. So don't look at it as you have to stick with Singletary. You can always switch off him, but I have too much. I mean, I have more than I want of him right now. But he's really been much more involved, and the price is right, and I have enough of the game stacks. I got 48%. I would like to be less than that. So I will probably, I can switch over to some McKinnon. I can switch over to some Fournette. I've only got Singletary in about 30% of my big buy-ins. So, and they're mostly Mahomes. Like I have Mahomes, almost 30%. So Singletary is a natural run back for me over Mitchell in those specific lineups, or along with Mitchell. But Derrick Henry is my main running back for all my big buy-ins. I think he's way too cheap. I think if it doesn't work out, so be it. I'll take the lump. But it's kind of silly for him to be similarly priced to anybody. And I'm actually surprised he's not 75% owned. I would think. I mean, if obviously this was just a normal week, he would be 75% owned. If it was like just an effort, another thing. But I mean, he would be 75% owned on a full slate at this price all season long. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just crazy. Yahoo ownership is Brady's question. I don't know what that means. So I guess he's asking for what the ownership is on Yahoo, or what your ownerships are on Yahoo.
Yeah, I don't really do your ownerships on Yahoo. I don't think this week. I mean, I have them, but I don't think they're pretty accurate. I
didn't do play on Yahoo.
I did. Let me see. Oh, you mean my exposures? Yeah. I played Yahoo. Yeah. I can give you that. Actually, I gotta do it from Sabres because Yahoo, they don't list what the ownerships are. Like, there's no you know what I mean?
There's not like you can't use
a Roto Grinders thing that you could look at.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me pull it up. I did play it. Let's see. Okay, Yahoo. 4 games. Okay, it looks as though my biggest guy, I have 70% Mixon. And you'll get that with Yahoo. You'll get guys that are just like really, really just cheap relative to their, you know what I mean? And you'll end up getting just a whole ton of them. So for me, overall exposure, Mixon is my highest owned guy at 76%. Then as far as quarterbacks and that type of stuff, like Mahomes is number one. And then, boy, oh boy, I'm really taking a stand on this, I guess. I got like 35% Tannehill. And then like the rest is like, not, I got like 5% Josh Allen on Yahoo. 5% Brady, 5% Rodgers, 5% Garoppolo. So just where I'm at over there. And then as you probably know, top owned wide receiver would be AJ Brown, 35%. But I do have Adams and Hill. I got a good amount of T. Higgins over there, actually, specifically.
I've got T. Higgins everywhere.
What's that?
Well, I have T. Higgins absolutely everywhere.
Yeah, and my highest owned tight end on FanDuel is Anthony Ferkser. Just the way it works out over there. I do have a good 15%, by the way, of McKinnon over there, and I have every defense except for the Packers. I have 40% Chiefs. Let's go.
Hey.
Of course. Let's give up 45 points and get the best score.
Hey, I don't mind it. Rom making another birdie. I think I really like that. I even think 12
shut me out. They knew I was gonna. I'm telling you, I had to click it 20-1, and then by the time I clicked it, you said your odds have changed 12-1.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a pretty good bet. But I really like the Zalatoris. I think Zalatoris has got a great shot here.
We'll see. I mean, just get me within like 2 or 3 strokes. That's all I want.
Yeah, but also it's not like, I mean, there's a bunch of guys he's chasing, but he's only like 2 behind the guys he's chasing. And then there's the Hogue at 4 behind.
I don't care about him. You know what I mean? I just want concerned about where Cantley and Rom are. Yeah, I can deal with beating Joseph Bramlett. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I played Joseph Bramlett. He's in. I have him with the Cantley Rom thing in one of my lineups. Not that it's going to necessarily end up, but like it was looking pretty good there for a minute.
Dude, my strong one. I got a good amount of this Lanto Griffin, who's tied for second, 15 under.
Ooh, you did. That's awesome.
At like 0%. Yeah. He's 3.6% in the single entry. So we'll see how that works.
Yeah, I just got a message from State King, so I got to send them one more thing I didn't send them. How did you end up? I did terrible on DraftKings last night, but really well on FanDuel. How about you?
What, in the NBA?
Yeah.
Who played last night?
Everybody.
Not me, I don't think. I mean, I played. I don't think I did anything. Oh
Yeah.
no, I told you I so I feel bad. So I min cashed both big ones. The FanDuel one, I min cashed literally by one fraction of a point. I finished last. You know what I mean, in the money. And
Oh,
then
nice.
DraftKings, you and I were fighting for the last spot down the stretch,
Oh,
and I
God.
got you just at the end.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Some ugliness. The Cork Moz thing, I went way too heavy
Well,
on.
we both had the Cork Maz, but I ended up with I think I must have had Rudy and you had the Melton or something, and
Yeah.
it was something down the stretch where I got you by just a couple of points near the end or something.
I was really pissed off at myself because my FanDuel deep one, I would have been like top 3 or 4, I think. But I switched over to Gary Payton with all the speculation about what's it called, and by then Melton's game had already started, so I went off Melton and left the 300 on the table. But I could have Melton scored 20 more fantasy points, and it would have put me right there. So that was a little frustrating.
Yeah, this was my. Hold on, I'll pull it over. It's gonna look like really familiar to you. So this was my lineup that ended up actually getting 70th out of 88, and this one. See, I think you only like 2 guys different from me here, and I forget which one it was. I could scroll down and find you. You were probably, I think you finished up like 88th or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, there it is, right over here. So it was very. So this was. Oh, so you had Van Vliet instead of me, but oh yeah, your dud was Jaylen Brown in this lineup. That's where you. Yeah, that was that one.
Yeah, I tried something creative and it didn't work. Although,
I know who you didn't have that. Yeah, so I had Gobert and Conley down the stretch, and Conley got those free throws.
Yeah,
that's what ended up happening over there. With
yeah.
BR Savage, if that's actually the same BR Savage, that would be really funny.
From poker?
Yeah,
I would bet you 99% sure that it is.
It has to be. It just has to be.
Zach,
do you know, by the way, I don't know if you know this guy, but do you know who really just is always at the top nowadays? Do you know this Oxen Duck?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he's always.
Oh, I never heard of him.
I mean, look, I'm not saying that anybody who max enters everything, but like literally, we talked about this.
So he's been around. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the max entry guys, I've never like overly like I'm impressed by them, but like I'm always.
I didn't know he max enters everything. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I should know if I'm looking at his 11th lineup in the 555.
Yeah, but he's really good. I mean, I'm not going to say anything bad about him. It's that's a different type of skill. It's very hard to do, and he's really good at it. Yeah. Zach's asking if we had to choose Higgins and Boyd or Chase and Boyd. Chase is the answer. Different prices. I mean, that's the main thing that's different. But if I had to bet on who has the bigger games here, I have more Higgins and Chase than Boyd by a little bit, but I'm well over.
Chase is an alpha. You know what I mean? Like if you can get him, you should get him.
Yeah, well, the thing is though, he is really their third receiver. Like, you know what I mean? But he's consistently scores touchdowns. That's why.
And like big long ones, you know, like.
Yeah, but so does Chase and Higgins.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant. I meant Chase.
Oh yeah. Now Chase is crazy. Yeah, but I mean, you'll get the weird outlier game where it's all Higgins and the and it's sort of how the defense decides to cover them. But what I'm sort of taking on these guys is like the problem. Like this is the funniest matchup because I think you can run on Tennessee. I'm sorry, on Cincinnati. And I think you can throw the ball, especially deep, on Tennessee. So it's kind of like a which this is why I'm stacking this game. Then I'm sort of everything else is like the Chiefs game with a little bit of the Rams mixed in.
Yeah.
Another guy I'm not playing Mike Evans almost at all.
Let me see how much Mike Evans I have. Because I don't remember playing him a shred. And it makes sense because if I only have 8% Brady and I have a little bit of and I have a decent amount of Gronk, it's probably because I don't have any Mike Evans. No. Whoa, what is this? I have 23% Mike Evans. Look at me, be proud of me. And only 8% Brady, but I still have 23% Mike Evans.
Yeah, I think he shows up because like all the other receiving options and everything. But I would rather play the tight end against the Rams personally. I think it's dangerous to play against Ramsey and just to go for that.
Yeah,
you're looking for ceilings and you've got.
That's right. So this is the guy that Ramsey never allows like a single catch that Mike Evans, right?
But at the same time, they usually just take the easier options when they have all their receivers, but they don't. So that's why I'm liking the Sorrell Grayson or what's his name or Tyler Johnson, but I prefer Grayson if he's in.
Do you take a look at the NBA or no?
No, but I can talk about it. I can take a look.
Well, I'll just tell everyone. I mean, I'll just show you guys what I have right now. Because again, there's no Giannis, so it's like one of those nights. So I currently have Portis and Middleton as the top plays, and then Booker and Paul from Phoenix. It's a Cleveland slate. Garland and Jared Allen looked pretty good. Yeah, I got Portis at 40% owned today as Middleton too. So that's why. Oh, Drew Holiday, he might be less than 15% when Giannis is out. I might try that.
He may not play.
Oh well, I don't really want to play him in that case.
He just came back, and the back-to-back, it just seems like why would they play him? But I have to say that I really think that either them or Miami are winning the East this year. I just don't see anybody. I don't see it happening with Brooklyn. I really don't.
Miami or who? Or Cleveland or Milwaukee?
Milwaukee, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we had needed a big win in the last night. We bet the as part of the free bet, whatever. We had the Lakers. They were looking really grim for the first half last night against Orlando, and then Orlando, Cole Anthony didn't score until like the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
they got Lakers outscored them like 21-2 to start off the third quarter.
Yeah, no, they got off hot there.
But I'll tell you something. I was watching the Lakers, man. When they don't play that much defense. They got a really hot game in the third quarter out of Carmelo. Carmelo, I think, made 5 threes in the third quarter.
Yeah. No, their defense is a big issue, but obviously Anthony Davis being back will help that, as will even having none back will.
Hey, but like it or not, you know who's going to be legit part of this rotation now? This guy Stanley Johnson's really resurrected himself. He's playing really well.
Yeah, he will be until the trade deadline. But
do you think they're getting rid of him?
He's not really resurrect. I don't know. He sucks.
I don't know.
He plays hard on defense, and on this team, yeah, he stands out because he plays defense.
I mean,
it's pretty amazing that he's out of the NBA. Like, how many top 10 picks just after a few years with that much athleticism?
Where did he go? Where did he go to college?
Arizona.
Okay.
Westbrook-Ikhine is not a guy who I thought one time about, Zach. So
wait, hold on. That's the same Stanley Johnson who was like the nuts in Arizona?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
I mean, potentially he was talked about as going to be the number 1 pick during his college.
What happened to that guy? Like you were saying,
he just, his offensive game is literally in the bottom 1.1%.
Did he play for Sean Miller? I guess he had to. Wow.
Yeah. So Zach, to answer that question, no interest in Westbrook-Ikhine at all. So that's an easy Julio Jones. I don't know.
I don't know. I think I got too much of that guy.
Westbrook-Ikhine?
I think so.
Sure, go ahead. I mean,
I think on the Saturday. I think.
Oh, on the Saturday, sure.
Yeah. I don't want to tell you how much I have. So how about that?
No, that's fine. I mean, I just like on a full slate, I can't see the justification for playing him over basically anybody. But that's just me. Cobb or Lazard or both. I mean, one of them probably, but I have more Lazard than I do Cobb, but I do have exposure to both.
Yeah.
But
I know Cobb's still doing it, sort of.
He has a good relationship with Rodgers too. If they are threatened in this game, and I think they will be, I think that he could be a safety guy. I like in my 3 big lineups, I have one with Lazard, one with Cobb. So I actually do have some exposure to those guys. And I've got Higgins in 2 of my big 3 and Chase in 1 of my big 3. And that's just a pricing reasons. But I do like Higgins this week. I'm surprised as many people are on him after he didn't get looked at last week at all. Talk about a streak guy. Like, he might put up like 2 fantasy points, and he put up 46 in that one game. He had 12 catches for 109. That game that I had him where I had that stack.
Yeah.
In a million. He had 46 fantasy points. That's nuts. I probably have a little bit too much of them, to be honest. I don't think I need to have them in like this many things. Maybe I can switch in some Boyd and make me improve a couple other spots. Boyd, Adams, Cup.
Yeah, for those of you that, I mean, no one's really listening, but yeah, I did a whole video on how to maximize the bonuses and stuff. It's actually really clever the way they market some of these things, and there's some really cool ways you can take advantage of them. So for those of you that are interested, just take a look at it, because even if it's not legal in your state yet, when it is, I mean, this is what's going to happen. They all come out with these bonuses, and they're so confusing. Like they give like 75 different offers, and unless you really pick the right ones, you're kind of screwing yourself.
Mhm.
And again, I don't want to screw that up again. I mean, like I told you, like it was like, look, it was for a lot more money when it was poker. But if they're gonna look, it's not like you're stealing from them. If they're gonna give you these bonuses because they want you, they're signing you up, you should grab them. So whenever, tell me,
Absolutely.
whenever it comes to California, Bobby, you're gonna make like literally, you're gonna make like $20,000 in the first month just on bonuses.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait. All right. I think I'm pretty ready to go for the football. Actually, I don't really.
Yeah,
have
we can get out of here.
All right. Well, good luck today, man, and hopefully the golf turns around for us, and we make some money. We get some sweats tomorrow.
Yep, sounds good. Hey, maybe we'll touch base tomorrow.
Yeah, sounds good, bud.
Actually, we can't. I'm going to be someplace, but
Okay.
I'll talk to you later.
All right, sounds good, man. Have a good one.
Later.